do with wars and raids and other things like that. In order to keep in shape, they held competitions. And one of them is the chief competitive dance. And I guess the winner is the guy that's up to the last. Thank you. In the days before gill netters, modern engines, drum seiners, etc., rod and reels, outboard motors, it was quite difficult for our ancestors to catch salmon. They waited until they got to the rivers, and when they were in the rivers, they speared the salmon. And this dance is just to remind us of how our ancestors used to fish. Thank you. Our elders are very important to us. A well-brought-up child from an early age learns respect. The next dance, the old ladies dance, and I know Dave and Larry always shudder whenever we do this dance. They become honorary members of our dance troupe because of this dance. For it is when people are old, after a lifetime of collecting experience and knowledge, not I'm calling you old or anything, Larry, that we learn a lot from them. And this dance is meant to teach us to respect our elders. And the ladies in the back, at the beginning of the dance, towards the end of the dance, will be old ladies. When they let go of their canes, when they come in line with the younger ladies in the front, they're immediately transformed into young maidens. And these young maidens will go towards the audience and they will try to entice the male members to come dance with them. And that's an insult if you don't come up and dance with them. Okay? Enjoy. Looks like everybody is leaving.
Mention the ones on the wall over there.
Support events and to teach. 3 years ago, the village principals, along with Mr. Harrison, got together and we decided to make an application to the Model Programs Initiative. We got the grant And our goal was to do some transmission of culture. And the first year, we decided to do it by legend. And we focused on the beaver and the porcupine. And last year, a year before, we applied for another grant, and we also got it from the same Mall Programs Initiative. And this time, we're going to do transmission of culture through drama and dance. And our effort this time, well, this is our effort. This is the beaver and the porcupine. Thanks to my staff, that we had a rather lengthy workshop in Port Simpson, and we had Marjorie McCrae come down to Hartley Bay, and with the help of elders, volunteers, we were able to come up with our version of the beaver and the porcupine. The dancers that are standing in front of me represent the forest. You will notice that they will reflect the action of our story as they are affected by the forces of nature, the gentle breeze and the strong wind. The little quiet people to my right are the moss, and the little sleepy ones right in front of me are the rocks. They play a very important part in the story. This is the story of the porcupine and the beaver. In the early times, all of the animals were brothers, and they spoke often with one another. One day, Porcupine was walking about at the edge of a large lake. And the great beaver was swimming around the big lake. Both were very happy. Sometimes, even good friends play tricks on each other and try to hurt one another. The beaver decided to play just such a trick on his good friend the porcupine. He invited the porcupine to come play in the water with him. Even though the porcupine was afraid, he trusted Beaver, and so he agreed to try it. The beaver swam in his pond with the porcupine clinging to his back. He dove down and came up. 3 times he did this, and each time he stayed down a little longer. On the 4th dive, he stayed down a long time. And when he came up, he threw his half-drowned porcupine friend on a little island in the middle of the lake. sad. He cried, and as he cried, he sang. Til de norddanske nå, til de norddanske nå, til de einumste dukske lachsiks, så will Chalgil nord, niet out, out. The north wind heard his song and started to blow very hard. Everything began to freeze. Soon, the porcupine was able to walk across the frozen lake. The sun shone, and the days got warmer. Again, the beaver swam happily in the pond, and again, the porcupine played at the edge of the trees. But deep in his heart, he planned how he would get revenge for the way the beaver had tricked him. Porcupine invited the beaver to play with him in the branches of the tall trees. This time, Beaver was the one to be afraid. But like the porcupine, he trusted his friend. Porcupine climbed a tree and called out to the soft moss to catch him as he swung, let go, and fell through the soft branches. Then it was Beaver's turn, but Porcupine called out for the rocks to catch his friend, and he landed with a great crash on the rocks below. Beaver lay on the ground, badly hurt. Slowly, he dragged himself home. Beaver was able to swim happily in his lake, and Porcupine again was playing at the edge of the forest. They met by the shore, but each turned his back on the other because they were no longer friends, since true friends never do things that would hurt each other. And that is why, to this day, the Porcupine and the Beaver are no longer friends. Version of the Beaver and the Porcupine. Our singers, Claire, Myrna, Jamie, Kathy, and Clark. And of course, I would like to thank our dancers. This is our third performance today. We have 3 more tomorrow, and as you can see, some of them are getting pretty tired. You really did well, guys. This brings to an end our program, and we'd like to close with our farewell song. It's a song done in the Chinook jargon. If you know it, please join us. And the Chinook jargon, or the Chinook language, was traders' language that was used up and down the coast, I guess, through all of BC and Canada. And it utilized a mixture of French, English, and all the coast languages. So if you do know the song, please join us. And I would like to thank the Principal Association, the people of Metlakatla, for letting us be a part of your evening. And also, this is Heritage Month, and I'm very glad, very proud to have been part of it. Thank you.